A man's actions are the mirror of his heart. When you are an option, his presence feels like the wind, here then gone. His words carry no weight, his promises dissolve in silence. But when you are the one, you will see a different man. His time becomes yours, his mind attentive, his steps deliberate. The truth is simple yet rarely spoken. Value in his eyes is not declared, it is demonstrated. Watch closely, for the difference between option and only is not in what he says, but in how he shows up when no one is watching. When we speak about value, most people think of it as something that must be announced, proven, or earned through grand gestures. But real value is rarely declared aloud. It is felt. It is sensed in the subtle ways someone treats you when there is no benefit for them in doing so. Imagine this: you meet someone, and in the early days, everything feels alive. There's laughter, constant conversation, maybe even moments that feel deep. But as time passes, you begin to notice something. When you are not directly in front of them, their presence fades. Messages slow. Effort thins. They are warm when you are near, but their warmth disappears the moment you step away. This is what happens when you are seen as an option. Options are treated as replaceable. They are enjoyed when convenient, set aside when inconvenient. In the mind of the person holding them, there is no urgency to protect or nurture the connection, because in their eyes, the value is not rare enough to lose sleep over. And this has nothing to do with your worth as a human being. It has to do with how they perceive you in their world. Now, when someone sees you as the one, the entire equation changes. There is a shift, not always in words, but in energy. They stop being casual about the connection. They begin to show up with presence, not because you demanded it, but because they feel the weight of your significance. They recognize that in a world full of choices, some people are not meant to be treated like a choice. You see, the human mind naturally assigns value based on scarcity and meaning. A rare stone in the desert is guarded differently than a stone found in every garden. It's not that one stone is objectively better, it's about the perception of what it means to the person who holds it. And the way they guard it, protect it, care for it, that's the measure of how they see its value. When you are an option, you'll often find yourself wondering where you stand. You'll overthink text messages. You'll feel the need to remind them of your presence. You'll search for signs of care. And still, there will be inconsistency, because they are not afraid to lose you. When you are the one, you won't need to search for signs. Their presence will be consistent even without your prompting. They'll make time, not excuses. They'll think of you when you are not around. They'll guard the connection because they understand it cannot easily be replaced. And here is the part many overlook: people can say all the right things. Words are easy. Anyone can promise commitment. Anyone can express interest in the heat of the moment. But when the noise of the moment fades, behavior will remain as the only true language. You will see how they prioritize you, not when they are trying to win you, but when they believe they have you. That is the truest indicator of value in their eyes. So, do not chase declarations. Do not build your understanding of your place in someone's life solely on what they say when emotions are high. Instead, watch the quiet spaces. Observe the days when you are not in the spotlight. Listen to the tone in their silence. Because value is not proven by the words spoken in your presence, it is proven by the consistency of their actions in your absence. When someone sees you as an option, their involvement in your life often follows the rhythm of convenience. They will appear when it suits them and vanish when it does not. At first, you might not notice this pattern because in the beginning, attention can feel full and frequent. But over time, you begin to see the gaps, those spaces where consistency should live but doesn't. There will be moments when they seem deeply engaged, laughing with you, sharing stories, even showing gestures of care. But these moments are like brief flashes of sunlight between long stretches of cloud. They are not sustained. They do not anchor themselves into your daily reality. Instead, they appear when their schedule is open, when they are in the mood, or when nothing else has taken priority. You will also find that their words, while pleasant, carry little weight. They may say they want to see you, but they rarely make a plan and follow through. They might talk about things you could do together in the future, but that future never seems to arrive. When you are just an option, they will keep the door half open, not fully closed, but never wide enough for you to step in completely. This type of engagement can be confusing. It keeps you hoping, keeps you wondering, because it's not complete neglect. There are just enough moments of warmth to keep you invested. But what is missing is the steady, reliable presence that comes when someone genuinely prioritizes you. With the option mindset, energy is transactional. They give when they want something, your time, your attention, your affection. But the giving is inconsistent, and it often stops once their immediate need is met. They are not investing to build, they are investing to sustain a minimal connection, just enough to keep you within reach, but not enough to make you feel truly secure. And here's the subtle danger: inconsistency can feel addictive. It creates a cycle of highs and lows, where you begin to cling to the good moments and overlook the long stretches of absence. You start thinking, maybe they're just busy. Maybe they'll be different next week. But busy people still make time for what matters to them. And those who see you as the one will not make you wonder where you stand. When someone sees you as an option, you will always feel the need to prove yourself. You'll adjust your behavior to try to become more appealing, more convenient, more available. But no matter what you do, you will remain in the position they have chosen for you. Because being an option isn't about your worth, it's about their readiness, their priorities, and their willingness to commit. It's important to see these signs early, not to punish or resent the person, but to recognize where you truly stand. This clarity allows you to step away from situations that keep you in a state of waiting, so you can open the door to connections where your presence is valued without conditions. The truth is, the way someone treats you when you are just an option is not a reflection of what you deserve. It is a reflection of what they are prepared to give. And sometimes, the most powerful step you can take is to stop trying to become someone's priority and instead become your own. Because when you understand your value, you no longer settle for being convenient, you choose to be chosen. When a man sees a woman as the one, something within him shifts. The pace of his steps changes. His decisions carry a different weight. It is no longer about what is convenient. It is about what is right for the connection he values. He begins to think beyond the moment, beyond himself. Every choice, from the smallest text message to the biggest life decision, is filtered through the awareness that this relationship matters. You won't have to chase his attention, because his attention will already be moving toward you, not in a desperate or obsessive way, but in a steady, grounded presence. He will check in, not because you asked, but because you are naturally on his mind. He will remember the details you shared in passing, not because he's trying to impress you, but because those details matter to him. When you are the one, your words don't just pass through his ears, they land and they stay. Time is one of the clearest signals. For someone who sees you as an option, time is a gift they give when nothing else is competing for it. For someone who sees you as the one, time is a priority. They make space for you even when life is full. They adjust their schedule, not because you demand it, but because they want to share their life with you, and time is the foundation for that. Another difference lies in reliability. A man who sees you as an option can be unpredictable, sometimes fully present, other times hard to reach. But when you are the one, his presence feels steady. If he says he will be there, he will be there. If something changes, he will tell you. Reliability becomes a part of how he communicates care. It's not about perfection. It's about the understanding that your trust matters, and he treats it with respect. You'll also notice that effort is not limited to the big moments. Yes, there may be grand gestures from time to time, but the deeper truth is in the small, consistent actions. He will listen when you've had a long day. He will remember to bring you something you like without you asking. He will notice when something is bothering you and make space for you to talk about it. These moments may not be flashy, but they are deeply telling. They are the quiet demonstrations of commitment that don't need an audience. And perhaps most importantly, when you are the one, you won't feel like you have to compete for his attention or his affection. You will feel secure. Not because he gives you constant reassurance with words, but because his actions consistently affirm your place in his life. The uncertainty that comes with being an option is replaced by the calm of being prioritized. This doesn't mean the relationship is without challenges. Life will still bring difficulties, disagreements, and moments of tension. But even in those times, the difference is clear. A man who sees you as the one will work through the discomfort rather than using it as an excuse to pull away. He won't see conflict as a reason to distance himself, but as an opportunity to strengthen the bond. Being the one is not about being perfect or about meeting some ideal standard. It is about the way you are held in his mind and in his heart. It is about how he chooses to show up day after day, regardless of circumstances. And when a man truly sees you in this way, you will know it. Not because he tells you every day, but because every day he shows you. Love is not proven in grand declarations. It is proven in the quiet consistency of care. Effort is one of the clearest mirrors of how someone sees you. It's not about what they say they feel, it's about how far they are willing to go, and how often, to nurture the connection. Effort reveals intention. Effort exposes priority. And effort, when genuine, is never accidental. When you are simply an option, effort is minimal and situational. It appears when they want to maintain your interest, but it fades when that goal is achieved. They might do something thoughtful now and then, but the pattern is inconsistent. It's like a plant that is watered just enough to keep it alive, but never enough for it to grow. They don't neglect you entirely, but they also don't give enough to let the relationship truly flourish. And often, this minimal effort is not out of malice. It's out of mindset. If someone doesn't see you as irreplaceable, they will not invest themselves fully. They will give just enough to keep you in their orbit without exhausting their energy. That's why you might find yourself in a cycle of occasional attention followed by long stretches of distance. On the other hand, when you are the one, effort becomes a daily language. It's not about grand gestures every week. It's about consistent, intentional actions that build trust and deepen connection over time. They make an effort to understand your world, to remember the things that matter to you, to step into your life not as a visitor, but as a participant. They will notice when you are struggling, and instead of standing at a distance, they will step closer. They will make time even when their days are busy. They will adjust plans when you need them, not because they have to, but because your well-being matters to them. With the one, effort is not conditional, it's a natural extension of care. It's also important to see that effort is not just in the doing, it's in the listening. When someone truly values you, they listen with the intent to understand, not just to respond. They remember what you say, they act on what you share. If you mention you've had a stressful week, they might check in more often or find a small way to lift your mood. If you speak of a dream you have, they will encourage you and maybe even find ways to help you move toward it. The small acts of effort are often the most powerful. Picking up your favorite snack on the way home, sending a message just to check in, asking about something you mentioned weeks ago. These moments seem simple, but they are the markers of genuine care. They show that you are present in their thoughts, even when you are not in the same room. Minimal effort may keep a connection alive, but genuine, consistent effort is what allows it to grow roots. And those roots are what create a sense of safety, belonging, and trust. Without effort, love becomes fragile. With effort, love becomes resilient. The truth is, effort cannot be faked for long. Pretending requires energy, and eventually the truth shows through. But when effort comes naturally, it feels effortless, because it's fueled by genuine investment in you and in the relationship. When someone sees you as the one, you won't have to wonder if they care. Their effort will speak louder than their words, and it will speak every day. Because in the end, love measured only in words fades quickly. Love measured in effort lasts. Emotional security is one of the most telling differences between being an option and being the one. It's the invisible foundation of any deep connection. And yet, most people only notice it when it's missing. When you are just an option, there is a constant undercurrent of doubt. You may enjoy moments of closeness, but those moments are followed by stretches of uncertainty. You find yourself overanalyzing conversations, replaying small details, searching for reassurance in places where it is rarely offered. There's a subtle tension in your chest, not because something bad has happened, but because you never quite know where you stand. With an option, emotional safety is fragile. It can be disrupted easily by distance, distraction, or the presence of something or someone more appealing to them in the moment. You might notice they avoid deeper conversations or dismiss your feelings when you express them. There's a limit to how vulnerable you can be because you don't trust that your openness will be received with care. On the other hand, when you are the one, emotional security becomes a natural state. You don't walk on eggshells afraid of pushing them away. You don't feel the need to constantly test the waters to see if they still care. There's a stability in knowing that even when you disagree, even when life gets busy, the connection remains steady. In this space, vulnerability is safe. You can express your fears, your dreams, your insecurities, and you know they won't be used against you. Your emotions are acknowledged, not minimized. Your experiences are heard, not brushed aside. And because you feel safe, you open up more, which in turn deepens the connection even further. This type of safety changes the way you move in the relationship. You stop performing. You stop trying to be perfect just to maintain their interest. Instead, you show up as yourself, knowing you are accepted in both your strengths and your flaws. This acceptance doesn't mean they never challenge you. In fact, it means they care enough to be honest with you. But even in honesty, there is respect. Even in disagreement, there is kindness. Emotional security also shapes how conflicts are handled. With an option, conflict often leads to withdrawal or silence. They may avoid the issue altogether, or they may pull away until the tension fades on its own. But with the one, conflict becomes an opportunity to build understanding. Even when emotions run high, there's an unspoken assurance that you are still on the same team. And perhaps one of the most profound parts of emotional security is how it changes your internal world. When you are secure in the connection, you are not constantly trying to measure your worth through their responses. You are not anxiously waiting for signs that you matter. Instead, you carry a quiet confidence, not just in yourself, but in the bond you share. This doesn't mean every day is perfect. Life will still bring challenges. But when you are the one, those challenges are faced together. You know that even in moments of distance or difficulty, there is a commitment to work through it. You feel anchored, not adrift, and that's the difference. With an option, you're left wondering. With the one, because true love doesn't make you question your place. It makes you feel at home in it. The clearest truth about how someone feels for you often reveals itself in the moments when they are not trying to impress you. Words can be shaped, gestures can be rehearsed, but the small, unfiltered moments, those are where real intentions live. When a man sees you as just an option, much of what you experience from him will happen when he knows you are watching. He'll be attentive when you are together, engaging when you are in front of him, responsive when he feels the need to keep your interest. But pay attention to what happens when the spotlight is gone. Do his actions remain the same when there is no applause to earn? Does his effort continue when there is no instant reward? When you are the one, there is no performance. His actions are not based on whether you are keeping score. He does what he says he will do because that is simply who he is with you, not because he wants recognition, but because he values the bond itself. You will notice that the consistency you feel in public is the same consistency you feel in private. It's in the way he thinks of you when you're not around, maybe sending a message because something reminded him of you, or taking care of something you mentioned in passing without needing you to remind him. It's in the way he makes choices that protect the relationship even when you'll never know about them. It's in the invisible ways he honors you when no one else would hold him accountable if he didn't. This is where many people get misled. They mistake visible effort for genuine care. Visible effort is good. It's nice to see affection, to hear kind words, to feel love in obvious ways. But genuine care runs deeper. It exists in the choices that are made when no one is watching. It exists in the moments when doing the right thing is harder, yet still chosen. When you are only an option, the connection often fades in your absence. The energy they give you when you're together isn't matched when you're apart. They may forget things you've shared, cancel plans without much thought, or allow distance to grow without any urgency to close it. The bond is situational, alive only in the moments they feel like nurturing it. But when you are the one, the connection exists beyond proximity. Even when you are apart, there is a thread that remains strong because it is continually tended to. You don't feel forgotten. You don't feel like you've slipped to the back of their mind. And most importantly, you don't have to guess how they feel. Their actions make it clear whether you are there to witness them or not. This kind of consistency builds trust on a level that words alone cannot reach. It tells you that their commitment isn't dependent on mood, convenience, or audience. It's part of how they live their life with you in it. So, if you want to know where you stand, watch the quiet moments. Notice how they treat you when they don't have to. Pay attention to the choices they make when there is no one there to see them. That is where the truth hides and where it also shines the brightest. Because love that is only present when observed is not love, it is performance. Real love shows up even when no one is watching. Every woman can feel it. The difference between a man who keeps you around and a man who can't imagine his life without you. One gives you just enough to stay, the other gives without you asking. One disappears when life gets busy, the other makes time no matter what. This isn't about romance in movies. This is about reality, where actions speak louder than sweet words. Today, we'll uncover the unspoken signs that reveal whether you're simply an option or the one he's willing to fight for. In the end, it's simple. A man's heart is revealed not in what he says when you're near, but in how he shows up when you're not watching. If you feel like you're always chasing, always proving, then you're not being seen as the one. And you deserve more than being an option in someone's life. So step into the space where your value is clear and let the ones who cannot see it fade quietly away.